really love. I love this next one. And I feel like this is where everyone should sort of start when they're getting into differentiating, because now we're starting to get into something that I consider is a little more defensible, right? And that's going to be shape, molds, like changing the aesthetics, the appearance of the product, which usually means pulling a mold, or re-engineering. So sticking with this, which I didn't have plans to do this, but sticking with this the Schmo skewer thing, right? Imagine if you sent it to Amazon, new seller, you forgot to ask this, and you realize, oversized, how much am I going to pay for this? So you're like, how about if it does what, Wayne? It telescopes. So it can lock out. We can make this thing 24 inches at that point, but we're going to ship it in something about that big, So re-engineering products is amazing. If you're stuck on what to sell and you're product agnostic, I would just search for oversized products and look at ways that you could make this into something that's not oversized. Like if you're looking at a board game that somebody plays on a table, like an air hockey, not an air hockey, but those like mini air hockeys, those things are like 3 feet long. If you could put that into like 3 different pieces and put it into something that's smaller, that's a win, if you ask me. As a matter of fact, for many years, I sold, I was in the cigar, I sold a few brands in the cigar accessory space on Amazon. And one of the products that's in the cigar space is humidifier beads. So if you're not a cigar smoker, you already know what I'm talking about. But if you and you know what I'm talking about. So if you can get these little jars or packets or whatever, but you put these desiccated polymer gel beads and they absorb water like I don't know what. But you get these tiny little, huh? Like diapers. Yes, like diapers. That's the best description I've ever heard. Like diapers. So those nighttime diapers. So like these things expand like crazy and they hold water. So I'm like, well, I'm ordering these things by the container load from China. And then I realized, oh my God, in the gardening niche, they're selling these things in those big protein powder jugs, right? They're selling these things and they're good for hydrating your plants and for vases and all kind of stuff. You put them in the soil and they hold water longer so you don't have to water as much. And I'm like, man, I got this cornered. And I looked at this and those big containers, you're not in a small category with that. So what did I do is I just looked at that and I'm like, well, if it fits, it ships, right? And with the post office, I just put it into like a stand-up pouch, dropped them in there, compressed it, sized the pouch to where it could slide in one of those flat rate envelopes, and I just killed them. I killed them on space on Amazon. I was able to crush them on PPC. I just had margin that they couldn't spend. So anytime you can re-engineer a product, that can be a great differentiator. A lot of the times, if you can get a larger product and re-engineer it, you're now toying with some cool keywords in that category, because now we just moved into portable or for travel, whereas before that wasn't an option because it was so much bigger. So it really opens some doors when you can re-engineer the product. Shape alone, I mean, I like the fact anytime you can get a mold, you're kind of setting yourself apart from a lot of your competitors. And I'm not saying you have to get a mold. There's a lot of exceptions. But for most of you, if you're just starting off getting a mold, the biggest hang up is, man, I don't want to spend a few $1,000 because I want to validate the product first. Like that's the big one. I want to validate this thing and see if it works. Or once I see that it does really good, then I'll get a mold. That day never comes, right? But the thing that frustrates me with that, and I would love if you guys could start looking at it this way, is if you have a Me Too product and you cheated the system and you didn't pay for a mold, you didn't cheat anything. You're hemorrhaging a lot of inefficient ad spend. You have a Me Too product that now needs you to spend a lot more and do a lot more crazy stuff to stand out. You pay for it in spades. You pay 10x what you could have paid for that mold over the life of the product because you did not differentiate. So it's actually a way for you to be more efficient with your PPC. It is a way for you to extend the life cycle of your product because it's different. And it also allows you in a lot of cases just charge more because you have a different product. You charge $5, $10 more. And that's massive on Amazon nowadays with CPCs rising. Everybody with me so far? Is this making sense to anybody? Good? All right.